Hey y'all, how you perking? I hope you're perking good. My name is B and I am a licensed mental health clinician as well as a spiritual intuitive, and I like to use both of those things together in order to come up with an informed opinion to give to you guys on the issues that we like to talk about here on this channel. So whether we are talking about mental health related things or whether we are using the cards to give some advice and guidance to the people who are involved. Either way, everything that we talk about on here is meant to be helpful, not hateful. So, let's get into it. Let's get into it. And yeah, I know. I got curly hair today. I literally just got home from work. There's so much crap to talk about on here. I literally just got home from work, hence why I'm wearing a blazer still and button up and yada yada. And it was a wet day today. I didn't feel like straightening my hair. So yes, for all of y'all who have watched all my other videos with my straight hair, I do have naturally curly hair, but nobody cares about that. Let's move on. Let's talk about Ashlye Kyle, somebody that people do care about right now. So Ashlye Kyle just recently, within the last 24 hours, uploaded a video called I Am Done. And in that video, I'm assuming that you've all seen it if you're already here to my tiny little micro baby channel, then that means you've already seen this on plenty of other people's channels. So I'm going to skip over some of the stuff that I think you already know. But she's basically saying she's done with the drama clique per se. I'm going to call them a clique. She didn't call them a clique. But some people have. That's why I'm using that word. Because she feels like she needs to stick to her own lane. She needs to just kind of do what she's here to do and get away from all that mess because she feels like she's just so over it. She outlined several things in her video, and there are things that struck me as a licensed counselor that I'd like to talk about, and then there are some things that I would like to use the cards to get some information on, as well as always, provide guidance. I don't feel like looking into the cards just for the sake of looking in the cards is ever going to bring anybody any good or give us any useful information. The cards are there to provide guidance and be helpful. So she basically talked about how one day she looked on Twitter and just noticed Nick was no longer following her. Or she was told that, and that's how she found out that she and Nick Snyder from The Viewer's Voice were no longer friends. So and that's her way of looking at it. So from her perspective, her point of view, one day she just hears, like, oh, Nick Snyder's no longer following her. She goes, looks it up. She sees that that's true. She's like, what? What did I do? What could have happened that Nick Snyder's no longer following me? And then she's looking up other people's names to see, is there anybody else who's unfollowed me? And boom, she finds out Petty Page unfollowed her. And she says, she's from kind of the era of, is there no communication anymore? Is anybody going to ever text me, call me, let me know that we're no longer friends? Or I just one day happened to see on Twitter that people have unfollowed me, and that's how I know, oh, it's official. We're no longer friends. So that seemed to be really upsetting to her and understandable. I'm sure it would be upsetting to a lot of people. And that's when everything happened, when there was that infamous living room live stream at Nick's holiday party where Nick and Petty Page and Dustin Daly and Rich Lux and Jake Yonsei and all these people were in there talking, and Ashlye Kyle came up. And Petty Page proceeded to say why she unfollowed her and said that it was because she was aligning with her adversary, here for the tea. And all of this drama has been covered before, where Ashlye basically said, if somebody was, if people were coming after you and your kids, mom shaming you and bringing your kids into this when kids should not be a part of YouTube drama, wouldn't you be happy if somebody stood up and shut it down and said, hey, we're not talking about somebody's kids up in here, leave that out of it? She's like, that's all I did was say thank you for supporting me and my kids, and you know, I'm okay with us kind of making amends, and you know, water under the bridge, let's leave the hatred back in 2019 and move forward from here without all that. Not saying they're friends, not saying Ashlye, Kyle, and Here for the Tea are friends, but just saying that things are squashed. Thanks for standing up for me and my kids. That's Ashlye, Kyle's point of view of it. But a lot of the folks in the drama community, you know, Paige and Nick Snyder primarily, I guess, seem to think that, you know, she was not worth being friends with anymore because she was showing poor decisions and aligning with people that they weren't friends with. And boom, bang, bang, you've already seen all the millions of videos on it, yada, yada, yada. Here we are. One thing that she mentioned on her I Am Done video that she posted, I want to say early this morning or late last night, is that she talked about at that infamous party where they're sitting on the couch live streaming in the living room, that Dustin Dailey stayed silent and didn't defend her or stick up for her at all, and she and Dustin Dailey had been pretty close friends, so that really hurt her. And in this video, she did say that though we weren't privy to it, she reached out to Dustin, and in private they talked at length about it, and that she forgave him, that she understood his reasonings for feeling like he couldn't really stand up and speak at that time, and she felt like she understood and she forgave him. Me personally, I have, you know, a bit mixed feelings on that, because it's one of those situations where I'm like, no, as, you know, my integrity says that I could never do that for a friend. Of course I would stand up, or at the least, as some people were leaving the room that didn't want to be a part of the narrative, I would have gotten up and left too. You know, there's the part of me that says that. And then there's the other part of me that says, B, you don't know what the hell you would have done in a situation like that until the point you're in it. A lot of people say what they would have, could have, should have done until they're in a similar situation and they shock themselves with how they handle things. So I'm just going to throw out there that I see both sides, and I can't say what I could have, would have, should have done if I was there, because I wasn't there and I was never in Dustin's shoes, and I don't know what I would have done. I'd like to know what I would have done, but I don't know what I would have done. So I'm throwing that out there right now. But since then, even if they talked it out, things were good. Was it yesterday or the day before? Apparently he was kind of vague tweeting about some things, and long story short, almost everybody believes it was about Ashlye Kyle. She addressed that in her video, and she seems to be pretty hurt and upset and frustrated once again. So what I'm wanting to look at the cards in a second is not only looking into Ashlye Kyle to see, you know, in terms of moving forward, what kind of guidance and advice we can give her in terms of moving forward in the direction that she wants to go now, and then also, you know, a little bit about her and her relationship with Dustin Dailey. Not prying in an intrusive way, but just to kind of get a little bit of information on that, since they seem to have been experiencing a lot of this lately. As a result of this drama in the drama community, you know, trouble in paradise bullshit that's going on right now. But before I get into the cards, one point real quick that I wanted to make. As a licensed counselor, it really struck me when she said a certain thing. I was pretty much with her the whole video, Ashlye Kyle. I was following along. I was pretty much in agreement with her stance on things, her take on things, you know, as much as I can be in agreement about something with players that I don't personally know. So take that with a grain of salt. But everybody's allowed to form their own personal opinions, and opinions can change, and opinions aren't facts, as Nick says himself. But there was one thing that I'm like, I'm not going to roll with you on that one, though, is she said something like, I don't hate Petty Page because I don't even think about Petty Page. I don't even care about Petty Page. I don't hate her because I don't think about her. I don't care about her. But she can go bleep herself. I don't know if I'm allowed to say the F word on here, but oh well, whatever. She can go fuck herself. And she was saying it, like, this is what you can do. And she was very impassioned, very emboldened when she was saying it. She was just with it. And the licensed counselor in me was like, it's not a big deal that she says that. It's not a big deal that she thinks that. But since she is, if anybody cares about my unsolicited opinion right here, if what she's wanting is, and this is what I think she's wanting, Ashlye Kyle, is to basically heal from this very confusing and upsetting experience that she's been through and move forward in a new way where she feels healed, happy, ready to go on this new path, excited about her new lease on life and her new direction on her channel. If she wants that, then my thoughts would be that she wants to let go of any emotional baggage associated with that, because that's a part of healing, letting go of emotional baggage. And so one part that can help us in that direction is if we can be really honest with ourselves and really self-aware, because that's how you start. That's how you start. What is it that Dr. Phil says? Not that I'm too keen on him, but he makes some good points, obviously. You can't change what you don't acknowledge. So we need her to be able to acknowledge certain things and be real honest with herself on certain things to enable her to change those certain things. And this is what I want to say to Ashlye Kyle about that. You can't say that you don't hate someone and you don't care about them and they're, don't faze you any way, shape, or form, and then right after give a real big, passionate, emboldened, you can go fuck yourself, kind of a thing. Because that shows that you have a lot of anger towards that person. And I'm not shaming you for having that anger at all, because anybody that would be in your shoes, having gone through what you've gone through, would very, very likely feel the same way. So I'm not saying anything about that, but what I'm saying is it's going to be hard for you to actually move forward from a true place of healing, peace, and centered calm if you can't acknowledge and be honest with yourself that you do have a lot of anger for Petty Page still. You may even have some hatred up in there for her. And that's understandable, and it's okay to acknowledge that. It seems that Ashlye might be coming from a place where it's like it's not okay to still hold on to that. I need to feel like I'm moving forward because I don't want to feel like I'm still stuck back there some kind of way, and I don't want her to have the ability to rent any space in my mind. And we would all feel that way. We don't want to stay in the past. We don't want to let somebody who annoys us rent space in our minds, but we have to be honest with ourselves if that is where we are right now. And it seems like, in being honest, that is where she still is right now. And that's okay. So I would advise from the licensed counselor in me for her to re-examine that stance, see if she can get a little bit more tuned into herself to feel kind of where she would rate those levels of emotions as it relates to Petty Page, and see what she would like to do with those in order to start releasing them in a genuine way. So that's something I just wanted to touch on just real quick right there. But without further ado, we've waited a long time. Let's jump into these cards. Some of y'all only watch these videos for that anyway, right? So here we are. And so let's see. First of all, let's start with the relationship between Ashlye Kyle and Dustin Dailey. Let's see if we can give some sort of insights, understanding, and guidance around Ashlye Kyle's relationship with Dustin Dailey. So Let's see what we can get on that. Sorry. It's just that of all cards, why that has to be the first card. Okay. Interesting. I wonder who that's referring to. I'm going to have to get a clarifier on that one because, okay. So far, I think it's just trying to tell a story here. So let's see what these other cards. I always like getting 6 to start out with and just seeing where it goes from there. Ooh. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna have to pull more than just this. This is where we're getting started here. I'm already 15 minutes into this video. Holy hell. Shit fire. Save matches. Okay, so 8 of Wands, this is talking about communication. So what we see here is they used to communicate all the time. This is rapid fire communication, lots of communication. They used to talk all the time, text all the time, had a lot of communications. They were a really close-knit pair. Like, this shows that they were really good friends. The Lovers Upright card is like really good friends. So we're not just saying, oh, really good internet friends. I mean, like, no. Like confidants, really good friends. This card, though, one of the two in the friendship, I'm not going to say names because I'm going to let you infer because I think you know who I mean. If I could wink at you, I would wink right now. I think I blinked this eye too. But one of the friends in the relationship got a little bit like, my precious, I've got to control things. Things have to be a certain way. I want them to account for a certain thing, and I want to, like, I mean, I'm being over dramatic as I'm explaining that, but I want you to kind of get the essence, even if I'm being dramatic. There's one of the two of them that wanted to kind of control for how things went, had certain ideas about how things would go, kind of saw things a certain way, had their own idea for how to handle things. And as a result, so as you can see that card, this card's referring to Dustin, okay? Whatever. This card's referring to Dustin Daly. This card is referring to Ashlye Kyle. As a result, Ashlye feels like some of these things that the friend did was hurtful, and she feels like, okay, now what am I supposed to do? I feel like I was beaten down by this. So she does feel like betrayed. She does feel beaten down by what happened. And this situation right here is basically what happened at that party when he didn't speak up. He wanted to control for how things went. He felt like he wasn't really in control in that situation. He was just kind of in a weird, tough spot, but he wanted things to go a certain way. And in that time, he felt out of control. So if we're going to look at this in the nice way versus kind of the nasty way, the nice way is he felt out of control. The nasty way of looking at this is that there were people in the room that he felt like he had no control over, and that they are bigger, more powerful energies than he is, and that if he were to have spoken up, it wouldn't have done well for him, and it wouldn't have looked good on him, and the heat would have come onto him, and he didn't want that heat. And so the nasty way of looking at it was he was a coward and he was selfish, and so he didn't speak up because selfishly he wanted to self-preserve and look okay in front of that group, and he was too scared to stick up for his friend. That's the nasty way of looking at it. The compassionate way of looking at it is I felt really trapped. I felt really out of control. I'm the type that likes to feel like I have control over things. I like to have control over my environment. I like to have control over how things go, and I felt like I was out of control in that moment. That left her badly bruised and beaten. She felt like she was the underdog in this. Like, this Empress upright is kind of like, man, I am on top of my game. I've got everything going for me. So in the reverse position, that's the opposite. She's like, what? Just deflate the balloon, man. Let all the air out. It sucks. And with this card, it's like I'm overwhelmed and the fantasy is gone. Like, this is saying I'm overwhelmed. There was too much going on, and the curtain is lifted and I feel like I was sold a fantasy. I feel like my friendship, was that really a friendship, or was I sold a fantasy? Was this real, or was this an illusion? And so she's sitting here guessing, second guessing after a while, like, was this a friendship all along? What the hell happened here? You know, so she got really upset and hurt and really confused by that. So let's see where else we go with this and see if the cards can kind of tell us how things are going now / are going to go in the future as it relates to the two of them. Ooh, okay. Okay. Alright, so I don't think that their friendship's gonna survive, y'all. I don't think it's going to survive, y'all, because, so what I see here is, like, here's our friendship, our tangible friendship. It's not doing okay right now. Right now, it's not doing okay. What she's trying to do is take herself from a place of feeling like blindsided, betrayed, confused, hurt, and she's trying to put herself in a place where she feels more powerful, more independent, and more in control. And as much as she wants to maintain the friendship, because she had that phone call with him, I believe, or whatever, you know, she had that correspondence with him, and they talked about it, and she forgave him for her feeling disappointed, but then now she feels like he's crap talking her again on Twitter, in front of her face, behind her back, you know, kind of a thing. So she's sit here like, wait, we made up, and now this, and the death card, y'all. I mean, it's the death card, the ending of something. Like, I think that she's gonna feel like, you know what? I can't trust you like I used to be able to trust you. I don't know if you've really got my back like I always thought you did. I don't know if this kind of relationship's worth it. If one minute we're going to be talking and everything's great, then the next minute you're at a friend's house letting people dog on me and you're not standing up for me. The next minute we make up and we're great friends again. And then the next minute you're shading me on Twitter behind my back in front of my face. What the hell? You know? And I think that that's kind of where she's at right now. I don't think Ashley's going to really ever truly engage in that friendship anymore. I think that tie is cut. I think that tie is cut. Let me just get one more card about the future of her friendship, Ashley's friendship with Dustin Daly. So, well, this is good for her, the Magician card. So this is saying if she ever chooses to be friends with him again, she would be able to initiate that, and she could make it work in a way that feels okay with her, but it would always be on her terms. It would always be how she deems is okay, because she's never going to fully trust again. I mean, hell, the death card is also a Scorpio card, and Scorpios, we know, are very difficult with the trust. You know, you got to earn their trust from the beginning, and then if you ruin it, you ruin it. And so that card has that kind of energy. So she might make things what she wants. She may have, you know, a nice, simple kind of, we're polite to each other, we still care about each other kind of a stance. She might have that kind of a positive stand publicly, but in all actuality, she's over it, y'all. She's done. She's never going to go back to the way she was with him. It's never going to be the same. She's never going to be able to trust again. I think she's over it, y'all. I really do. I really do. Let's see about advice for her in moving her channel forward, since we're 24 minutes into this. Oh my Lord. Lord Jesus, help me. I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, okay. All right. Well, that's a great card to start out with, you know. That's an interesting one. We'll see where that one goes. In terms of... Ooh! We got her again. We got the Empress again and reversed again. Y'all see me shuffling this, hell. God. Ooh, okay. I'm like, ooh, like, what is this, a magic trick? No, what the hell? I swear. Okay, in terms of moving forward in her channel, I see that she's trying to move forward in her channel, but this is her tying a loose end around something. There's something about her channel that's not going to be the same. In fact, she has a lot of thoughts about her channel and whether her channel is even worth it. I think she's getting really burned out by the drama that she reports on, the drama that she exists within, and the people around her. And I think she's contemplating, is that even worth it? Does this even feel worth it? Is this even what I want? Because again, we have the Empress in reverse. She's right now feeling pretty insecure. She's feeling pretty hurt and wounded still. She's still feeling pretty unconfident. She's still going back and forth between pain and anger. And the Wands, Ace of Wands being in reverse is kind of like, we're not going forward. We're not going ahead. So honestly, if I'm going to be real, okay, before I even get there, again, with the pulled the fantasy, thing right over my face. I'm done with it. Was it all a fantasy? Was I seeing all of it? Do I see it for what it really is now? What kind of choices do I have now that I know that wasn't real and that was living in a fantasy world and that isn't what I actually want? And what options do I have now? And this right here is kind of like the home and family card. So honestly, and I'll pull more, but honestly, there is an aspect of Ashlye Kyle. There is a part of her that's considering quitting it all. Like, there's a part of her, no lie, that's considering, is this worth it? Or would I rather just be with my husband and my kids and not deal with all this bull? Like, there's a part of her that is considering that. In terms of moving forward, there's a part of her that says, do I even want to move forward here publicly like this, doing this in this community? Do I even give a shit to do that? There is a part of her that's in that headspace. But let's see a little bit more advice about moving forward. Whew. Yeah, y'all. There's a part of her that's saying even the money isn't enough money for this to be worth it. I'm tired of the fighting and all of the, the conflict. I just want to tuck into myself. I just want to isolate. I just want to be able to reflect and have time to myself and not be a part of this. Oh, Ashlye, don't leave us for real. Don't leave us for real. You might be thinking about it. You might have those thoughts. We all have thoughts of like, screw it, I'm quitting my job. I'm sick of this. I'm done. And then they're like, oh, I'm done. And they're like, wait, sorry, I still need this. I gotta go back. I'll be back tomorrow. I'll be back tomorrow. Thanks. We all have those moments. I'm hoping this is just a moment that she's having. And if she wants to take a staycation and just, have some time where she's not a part of this anymore, then and recoup and come back, I'm sure there's plenty of people that would love her to do that. Let's see, in terms of other advice. Yeah, so, okay. Yep, now it's getting better. So, yeah, she just needs to get her emotional needs met right now. She's feeling like she wants to quit it all and end it all because she's tired of it. She feels like the community that she loved and that she built and that she was friends with all turned their backs on her, all betrayed her, abandoned her, left her there. And so there is a big part of her that wants to walk away from it all and quit. And if she does, then I understand. But what it looks like here is she could just take some time to have some deep emotional healing, get that healing done, like what we talked about a second ago with some of the things that I heard that I was like, it sounds like you still got some feelings there that you might want to, give some attention to, because it looks like she does still have a lot of generosity, a lot of things that she feels like she could give to the world, the community. She feels like she still has a lot that she could offer, and that it might be a slow, kind of uphill battle, but she might feel like she's up for it, but not until she heals first. So I don't know, y'all. We might not get a whole lot of content from Ashlye Kyle in the near future. We might see that she needs a break. We might see her taking a break from certain types of social media but still being active on others, or we might see her doing a different style of content that seems easier for her to kind of do and isn't so taxing and draining for her versus some other stuff. Things are going to shift and things are going to change as she's trying to figure out emotionally what she needs, but she does have more to give, and she does want to give more, and I think she's up for it, but there's a big part of her that's ready to throw in the towel. So, Ashlye, if you're seeing this, and I know you probably won't, but I really hope that you do, I'm sorry that you have those feelings and that this is coming up, and if you, reach out to me if you ever wanted to, and we could talk about some of this stuff. This is horrible for anybody to have to deal with these kinds of feelings on their own. So hopefully you have a great support system, lots of friends and stuff that you feel like are helping you through this kind of time. And we can revisit, we can look at things in the future, see where it goes, and hope for the best. And if all y'all want to see more videos like this, because I've got a buttload coming and already, so hit that subscribe button and the like button. Let me know what you think about some of this stuff. What are your opinions on it? Do you agree with what the cards have said? Do you agree with what I've said? Do you have a different take on it than what I've said? Let me know. If you're here all the way to the end, how about put some kind of emoji down there in the comments so we can know who the real MVPs are, that you actually made it to the end and stayed to the end in this 32-minute video. My Lord. All right, y'all, I'm going to leave you alone for a little bit, but I'll see you on the next one. And if you want a private reading, email me. It's in the description. All right. Bye, y'all.